Hello, welcome to part 9 of my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In our last Let's Play, we explored the Dark World and found a number of secrets hidden. We did not have time, it was running a little bit late, to find one more major secret we can get. In order to do that, I am going to use the magic mirror and transport myself to the light world. It's just a little bit faster, a little bit easier to get where I want to go. So here's a safe spot. And I'm going to equip the flute and call the bird and transport myself to the base, or at least the first bottom level of Death Mountain. So we'll go inside, talk to the old man in here, and heal up a little bit. And we need to make our way up to the transporter near the top of the mountain, just below the Tower of Hera. So, like I mentioned before, watch out for the dead rocks, because they can kind of lock you in. You can't make your way around them. Gotta wait for them to get out of the way. Avoid the boulders as best as you can. Fend off the Tektites. And we're going to want to go right through that teleporter into the Dark World. And the ledge you're looking for, you can hop off right here just below the teleporter. In this cave, there are some moles here in the way, which we can use our magic hammer to pound those down. And there's a spike pit leading a long way back in this cave. But we have two things now that will really help us get through this spike pit really easily. We have the half-use magic meter, which means that we'll consume magic half as fast as we previously did. And we also have the magic cape, something that we haven't used yet in our adventure. It turns Link invisible and makes him impervious to damage. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that, and we're going to head through this obstacle course as fast as we can to preserve our magic, and so that we can make it through the small little challenge at the end. So it lets you use the Pegasus shoes while you are invisible, so you can get through this a lot faster if you dash a little bit. So you have to get there with enough magic left that'll let you have time to lift that heavy stone. You can't lift the heavy stone if Link is visible in this form. So inside the treasure chest we find the Cane of Burna. So it gives you basically a protective barrier around you. You can use that. I think the easiest way to get back is just the same way we came. We still have a cure-all medicine, the blue potion, and if you use that, it'll restore all your medicine, all your magic, and also your hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and equip the cape again, and we will dash back as fast as we can over these spikes. And we're out. So find a safe spot on this ledge. You can use the magic mirror. And I'm going to use the flute. And let's replenish that blue potion that we used. So we can warp ourselves right to the witch's hut, which is number 2. We'll step inside. Buy a blue potion. We have over 800 rupees, and only one major expenditure that I can think of coming up on the horizon, but that's not even for a while, so I'm sure we'll have enough rupees when the time comes for that. So the next dungeon that we want to get to in this game is the Swamp Palace, and that's located in the Dark World, just south of the bomb shop. So I'm going to use the flute again to save time, and we'll transport ourselves right to the Great Swamp. Now, we can test this out, we can make our way into there. I think it's easier just to use this teleporter right here. So now we need to head down to the dungeon. And you'll see that there's something we have to do in order to make our way through this dungeon. And once we head inside, that'll become apparent. So we walk in, and there's a channel here with a small ladder leading up, but it's not quite long enough for us to reach. So we can find a telepathy panel here and talk to Sahasrara. He lets us know that somehow objects in both the light world and the golden land, the dark world, are linked. So if we change something in the light world, it will affect something in the dark world. It isn't very common that you use this in this game. In fact, this is pretty much one of the few instances where it does affect something in the other world. But earlier in the game, we drained the water from this building here. And it turns out that if you do that in the light world and transport yourself to the dark world, the water will be drained there as well. So we just drained the swamp, and we can head right back through that teleporter, that glowing spot that I left on the ground there, to head back to the dark world. And you'll see that the state of the water is just the same. So when we head back inside, there will now be water in this path right here. So we can swim right over to the ladder. And I cannot recall the names of pretty much most of the enemies in this dungeon. Take out the water skimmers there, and you will find a key. Make sure you have to take all of them out to get the key. To our left, we can see a wall. It's hollow, so we can bomb it open. And it contains a treasure chest, a treasure chest containing the map. So not essential, but helpful if you're unfamiliar with the dungeon, for sure. So you'll need to lift up all the pots here, and under the bottom pot is the key that'll let you through this door. Avoid the Stalfos, to Berry, and make your way down. You're going to want to go through this door first because you're blocked by a key in the other room. Underneath that skull pot, you'll find the key. So we can head in now, and you can see there's a wall here. It's also hollow. You can bomb your way through. There really isn't any point to it, other than just to preview the rooms ahead of you. There are 2 skull pots here. One contains the bomb you just used, and one contains 5 rupees. So you net 5 rupees, lose 5 seconds. Next, we're going to want to smash these moles down. And this is a running switch. This is new to the game so far. We haven't seen one of these. You have to get back behind the switch and push forward. And what that will do is it'll release water into that channel where we just were. So we can no longer go into that room where we got the key. The game can't lock you out though, because you obviously can't make it through that door to do that until you pick up the key. But now we can head up this ladder right here into the next room. This is the main room for the dungeon. This is kind of like the hub almost. So there are a number of enemies here. And you can head down through this bottom room. Just kind of follow it counterclockwise for now. So once you make it through this path, you'll come out on the other side. Seems almost pointless, but once you push the block, the treasure chest appears containing the compass. Next, we'll head into this room right here. More Stalfos, berry. Like the room we saw before, there's another skull pot containing a key. And there are also some blocks here, but unfortunately you aren't able to push them at all, so we can't proceed to that next ladder yet. So we're going to want to continue counterclockwise, and there's a room here that we can open with the key we just got. So take out the berry, be careful not to electrocute yourself whenever they start shrinking. And we're going to want to do another push switch to release water into the channel. Now the quick way to go is just to head down through this door right here. You can see that the blue blocks were up that were blocking us before, but you'll save a lot of time if you just hit the switch again, activate the blue blocks, let the orange blocks down, and head back all the way around. And you'll see why when we get there, but it just saves you a trip. So now these blocks in the hallway here aren't even a concern. We can swim right over top of them as if they weren't even there. Avoid the Stalfos and take out the berry, avoiding the pillar of flame there. Here's a block puzzle. You're going to want to push the bottom block in, push the center block up, and that'll let you through. If you mess up the puzzle, all you have to do is leave the room and come back and reset. And we're going to want to go upstairs. So this is a kind of a large room, and there are a few enemies here, a few spots where you can pick up items. Avoid the column of fire when you can. And you're going to want to push the block and fall down the hole on the left first. This will let you fall down on the platform that contains the treasure chest there with 20 rupees. And we're going to repeat the process one more time. Same deal as before. Push the first block. Try to avoid burning yourself on the pillar of fire there. This time push the block and fall down the hole on the right. And this is why we drop the orange blocks and put the blue blocks up. So we can head across this platform. Throw all the pots along the way, pick up 25 rupees, and get the big key. So that's everything on this side of the dungeon. Now we're ready to backtrack. We want to head back to that main room where we were going counterclockwise along and going through all the doors. Hop back in the water and swim over to the other set of steps. Now we have the big key, so we can actually open up the treasure chest here, and it contains my favorite Legend of Zelda tool, the hook shot. I suppose you could be picky and say the long shot, or the claw shot, or the double claw shot, but overall, hook shot is my favorite tool. So what you can do with it is you can launch it at enemies, and it will stun them, or do damage if they're weak enough to be killed by it. And you're going to want to use it to aim it at these skull pots to pull yourself over to them. Inside this one you'll find the key that you need to head into the next room. So you're going to want to go to the other side of the treasure chest here and pull yourself across. use the key we just got to head into the next room. One nice thing about it is it'll let you kill the berry in front of you that are activating their shock without actually hurting you. So this is kind of like the Palace of Darkness. There's a switch here that has to be depressed in order to keep the doors open. You can push this statue on top of it. If you head down into this room right here, there is some point to it. You can see there's a couple Stalfos in here and a berry, but honestly, that's pretty much it. You're going to end up going to a room where you can't actually make any progress, and you're going to have to come back anyway. So, that same switch also opens this door over here that would normally be closed unless the switch was activated. So, the room that I just showed you ends up coming right here. In that other door to my left there. They both head downstairs kind of side by side. And you can get right here and be on the wrong side of the switch and not be able to actually push it at all. So it's kind of pointless to follow through that room. So push the switch to drain the water, and we can head downstairs. Take out the water bugs here. And you'll find this room right here with 2 treasure chests. This room was previously accessible, only it was before the water was drained. So it brings you up right here near this other room where we came down before. You would have seen this room filled with water, and you wouldn't have been able to get those treasure chests at all. So it saves time if you just head through that door to the left of this one first. So next we're going to want to head through the north door here. And you can see a door directly across from you. It contains a number of pots, some more fish enemies will drop down, and you can fill up on supplies here before we head on. In these waterfalls, there's actually a hidden door, and if you push into it, you'll walk right through the waterfall into the hallway. The hidden door is behind the next to last waterfall. So if you look really carefully, I think you can see it from the other room there. So you can see where those pots are, so you'd know to look for this room even if you didn't know that waterfall was there. Okay, so there's a little bit of a current that you jump down into. It pulls you to the left. You're going to want to fight the current and head up to the right a little bit, and you're going to kind of get trapped in by these water skimmers. So be careful by that. And head to the middle section. There's a wall you can bomb here. And it'll let you fill up with supplies. A couple hearts. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any way to get past those water skimmers once they have you trapped in. But we picked up the key, and we can make it through this door. For some reason, this dungeon doesn't have a door that's locked with the big key, so you really don't need to use it at all. But you only use it to open the big chest. So, you're going to want to equip the hook shot whenever we fight this next boss, and the name of it is escaping me as well. So I'll add it with the annotations. Basically, it's like a giant eye surrounded by clouds. You can use the hook shot to pull these little puffs out away from it, and basically remove them one at a time. I recommend that you do it from the side. If you pull them from up or down below, the game doesn't scale it right, and it'll seem like you're walking into these little puffs, and you'll probably take damage. So just kind of try to get it from the left and right, and pull them to you as you can. So we just have one left, and I'm going to go ahead and break it open here and take it out. At this point, the enemy will fly up into the air. It's really easy to take him out if you just hold your sword and do spin attacks. After 5 successful spin attacks, after 4 spin attacks, you will win. So pick up the heart container, collect the crystal, and we have just cleared the Swamp Palace. So here is the first time in the Legend of Zelda series that Ganondorf becomes a character. Before this, it was just Ganon. At this point, we are introduced to Ganondorf Dragmire and are basically shown how he becomes Ganon. I'd like to add, the enemy we fought before was called Argus. Argus. So with that, I will conclude part 9 of my Let's Play. These pumpkin enemies, if you're not careful, will steal supplies from you and steal mine. So I'm not feeling very vengeful, and we'll be getting that back another time. So thanks for watching, and tune in for my next episode.